Welcome to this session. You'll notice I am standing at the wall because we're going to be using it today. So if you don't normally work out beside a wall, make sure you go find a space that you can. I should say that is optional. It's only for a couple exercises. But if you can get to a wall, try to get there. We're going to need some weights today. We are doing our quads and back and core. So you're going to need one heavy weight to hold for our squats. And then you're going to need two kind of like pretty light weights for your back. And also you're going to need those to stand on for your quads. And then also a couple of lighter weights. I'm using 3 pounds, but you could even do like 2 pounds or 1 pound for our back and core as well. So we'll get started with just a standing warm-up today, standing cat-cow. So hands just gently resting on your quads. Have that slight kind of external rotation of your shoulders, bringing your shoulder blades slightly together. And we'll start curling our tailbone down, bringing our nose towards our tailbone. And then extending away, reaching our sit bones far behind us, looking slightly forward. And then tucking, curling under. And extending. And then just continue here at your own pace. If you don't like standing cat-cow, you can always go to your hands and knees. You can always use the wall as well. Just 2 more here. As always, starting to connect with our breathing. Last one. Good. So you can start by holding a wall here for our heel lifts, just to work our ankle articulation. Get a little heat in our legs as well. And since we're not holding any weights, you can kind of go at a decent pace, but still maintaining that good form, pressing through all your toes, that full ball of your foot. Starting to think about lengthening as always, a nice long spine, lifting through the crown of our head for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll just turn it into some gentle squats. So feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, toes slightly turned out, and then just sitting back into our squat. As I always say, you can start with just baby squats, maybe for the first couple, and ease your way down. And do whatever you want with your arms. Actually, I think I'm going to get some shoulder mobility going here. Because obviously as we work our back today, our shoulder girdle will be used a lot. Our back exercises today do use our shoulder muscles, of course. And you might really feel it in your shoulders. That's normal. And just 1 more here. Good. Shake it out. Get ready. So our first move is for our legs is our sissy squats, or our heel lifted squats, whatever you want to call them. So this is where you're going to need either weights that you can stand on or something else that you can stand on to lift your heels. Oh, I should also mention, I'm wearing shoes today too, just because I find it a little bit comfier to stand on the weights wearing shoes than just my bare feet. And then also when we do our wall sits, it just helps my feet to have a better grip. So I'm going to take my 5 pounds that I'll use later, placing them on the ground. I'm going to grab my heavy weight for my legs here. If you aren't using any weight today, or maybe you're working on your balance, you can also just hold on to the wall for these. So my heels are on my weights about hip distance apart. Toes can be forward or slightly turned out, whatever's comfortable for you. Our shoulders are in our neutral position, so we're not hunched up, but we're also not pressing them down. They're just nice in the middle, but they are engaged to hold onto our weight. Prepare with an inhale. Oh yeah, you're gonna inhale to come down, and then exhaling, coming up. So it's a little bit different than our normal squat. If you've done other videos of mine, you've seen these before, but if not, with our heels lifted like this, we're really working the front of our legs more so than the back of our legs. And our knees might go over our toes a little bit, depending on your anatomy. If you're taller like me, you might have longer femurs, and they might go over your toes, especially if you have small feet like me. So as we're doing this, we're trying to keep our chest forward. Actually, our chest is supposed to be kind of slightly lifted towards the ceiling. Just harder when you're holding weight. I'll show you a couple without weight. So what you want to do is you want to try to keep your hip creases open here, and your chest either up kind of towards the ceiling, slightly forward. So it's not like a normal squat where we're really creasing at the hips a lot. So trying to keep those hip creases relatively open, and you're getting as low as you can. We've got 4 more here. And 3, 2. Last one. I'm going to drop the weight for our pulses here. So we're going to come down as low as we can. Try to keep those hip creases open, like I said, and we're just going up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, trying to stay as low as possible. Our core is engaged, and we're using our breathing. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully come up, get off of those weights. You just place them to the side. This is where our wall comes in for our drop set. So I'm going to hold the weight again. Again, you don't need to have weight. We're coming down to, hopefully my mat stays still today. We're coming down to our wall for our wall sit. So trying to press like my hips into the wall and my back into the wall, head into the wall, and have a neutral spine, so that little low back area is just naturally not touching the wall. And I'm trying to get a 90 degrees at my knees here. And we're just chilling. My mat's definitely moving. I'm gonna have to move my mat out of the way next time. Okay, holding here, you got it. Okay, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully come up out of that position. There's no really great way of doing that. Place your weight off to the side. And we're going to come down for we'll do our first round of abs. So you can hold a light weight for this if you want for this one, or 2 light weights, I should say. Scoot down a little bit. And you want to make sure, if you're near a wall like me, when you come down, you want to make sure you have enough room that you're not going to hit your hands on the wall, because we're going to be reaching. So just give yourself that space. Our first exercise, as usual, is our core engagement exercise. So come down to the mat in your neutral position. Hands can be wherever you like to place them. Me, I like to place them kind of on my core here, my low ribs, and just up above my pubic bone to really think of that like cinching and bringing those areas together on our accordion. So preparing with our inhale. As you exhale, belly button draws in, pubic bone comes towards belly button, ribs go towards belly button. Hold for a second, and then release. Another nice big inhale, filling up your rib cage, front to back, side to side. Exhale, tightening that core, as if somebody was going to come and punch you to check. Just 2 more here. And last one. All right, so I'm holding like 2-3 pound weights here, very light to begin, and we're gonna do some weighted abs today. So we're not gonna do too many. If you don't have weights or you don't want to, by all means, just use your body weight. I have my hands kind of up just under my chin here, and we're gonna prepare with an inhale. As you exhale, nod your chin to your chest, coming up, cinching that waist, that accordion is closing, and then inhaling to open up again. Exhaling, coming up, inhaling back down. If you find like you're coning or doming around your center, your ribs are popping up, drop the weights, don't do them. Just work on getting that initial core strength. And 3 more. 2. And last one. So now is where our reaching is going to come in. Again, I would really recommend like nothing more than 3 pounds here if you're even using weight. We're going to be doing our dead bugs. So legs come up to tabletop, arms are up. Find that neutral spine and don't let go of that neutral spine as we reach opposite arm and leg out and then coming back in. Other arm and leg reach out, coming back in. If this is too much, obviously don't do weight or have your legs on the floor or take out the arms, just do the legs. Lots of options. Oops. And all the while we're thinking of that accordion waist, reaching and then cinching in as you come in. So I'm inhaling as I reach and lengthen, exhaling to come back in. Inhaling to reach and lengthen, exhaling back in. If you find your neutral spine isn't being maintained, maybe you're arching too much or flattening your back, maybe you're reaching your arm and leg too low, you can keep them up in the air a little bit higher, that's a little bit easier, and then just work down towards, the low range. We've got 1 more on each side. And then carefully bring yourself up. Again, since you're holding weights, you don't want to rush it. And we're going to do some twisting. So again, weights are optional. I wouldn't recommend anything too heavy to begin. We're going to keep our feet on the mat and we're going to plant our feet. They're not going to move. Our knees are also going to try not to move as we twist. So we're going to come back into our little C curve here. So my spine's in a little bit of a C. I don't know if you can see it in the angle. And we're going to inhale as we twist to one side, exhale back to center. Inhale, twisting torso the other way, exhaling back. So think of your chest turning side to side. And you're kind of like wringing out that core like a sponge. Again, check in. If your knees are swaying too much side to side, make it a smaller motion. And obviously don't do the weights. 4 more here. And 3. Check in your shoulders, haven't crept up. 2. And last 1. And then back to center. Okay, so our back. I'm going to give you a couple of options here. First one I think I'm going to do is on our forearm. So this is where I'm using a 5 pound weight, and we're doing 1 arm at a time, so you just need 1 weight right now. So my elbow is beneath my shoulder, kind of like if we were doing a side plank, and my hips are stacked, my shoulders are stacked, but I'm kind of turned in slightly at like a 45-degree angle, my torso. I'm going to start with my right hand. So my right hand has the dumbbell and it's kind of out by my left arm, my left hand here. And what I'm going to do, it's kind of like I'm going to be like hugging and like doing like a reverse hug or a reverse fly, really is the technical term. So I'm going to think of my shoulder blades starting the motion. So what I'm going to do is grab the weight, draw my shoulder blade, my right shoulder blade in towards my spine, and then shoulder blade moves away from my spine. Coming in and away. So that's option one. Option two is just lying down. If you don't like being on that forearm, you can either have your head in your hands or be fully lying down. And it's the same idea where you're thinking shoulder blade comes in towards spine and then shoulder blade moves away. Using your breathing. And as I said at the beginning, if you feel this in your shoulders, that's totally normal. Your shoulders are working here too. We've got 3 more on this arm. 2 and 1. And then we'll switch to the other side. You can just roll over, but I'm gonna twist around here. So same setup, forearm is down, my elbows beneath my shoulder. I have my torso turned like a quarter turn towards the mat, arm reaches out, and then flying in. So thinking of the shoulder blade the entire time. Because if you aren't doing this kind of like flying, like this hugging back and then kind of hugging forward, if you're just doing like a straight arm raise, that's just total, like that's way more shoulder, which is just not what we're working on today. Working on our back. This side might already be a little bit tired because it was already propping you up on the other side. For 4 here. 3, 2, and last 1. Whew. Okay. We're gonna do some robot arms. So coming onto your mat, on your stomach, your hands, your fingers are at about nose level. Your head is down in the center. I'm just having mine up slightly so I can talk a little bit better. And elbows are kind of in by your side. Our shoulders are in that neutral position. Our spine's neutral. We're going to press our hips into the mat, press your pubic bone into the mat, keeping our feet down the entire time here. You're going to prepare with an inhale. As you exhale, hover your head, peel your chest away from the mat, and hover your arms, and then inhale to lower back down. Exhaling, peeling up, and inhaling to lower. If this is too much for you, you can just do the arms, so your head and chest would stay down, and you're just working on lifting and lowering your arms. Press feet into the mat to help. And legs are slightly active to help as well and support that low back. But this is a low back exercise, so if you do feel something in your back, that's not like pain, like that's normal. For 4, 3, 2, and last 1. And then relax back down. Carefully bring yourself up. We have our next round of our squats with our heels lifted. So get your weights set up, again, about hip distance apart if you're using weights. Okay. Grab your heavy weight for your sissy squats. So same thing we did last time. Oops. Make sure your weights don't start rolling around on you. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's the weight on the mat. I don't know. Okay. So when you're ready, we're thinking keeping those hip creases open as we squat down and coming up. Chest is staying upright. So even when you are doing regular squats, like if you had a logo on your chest, you should always be able to see that logo. You should never be going, bending down and that logo facing towards the floor. But this time, if you had a logo on your chest, it's like it's pointing kind of up more towards the ceiling. And our core is engaged. This is a good core one as well to help keep our spine in that neutral position. We've got 5 more here. 4, 3, last 2, except for, we have a little something extra at the end, last 1. I'm going to place my weight down carefully, coming down into our low squat here. And now we're going to bring our hips back, kind of like towards, my hips are going towards the wall, the wall behind you, and then you're bringing your hips forward. Hips go back, hips go forward. So I'm staying low, and the only thing that's really changing is my pelvis here. It's kind of going back and forward, back and forward. Try to stay down, try not to creep up. Relax your jaw, relax your hands for 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness. Come up. I'm going to get my mat out of the way for our wall squats this time, just so I don't slide away. Oh. Thing out of the way there. Okay. So back for our wall squats again. You can grab your weight if you want. And we're coming down, feet about hip distance apart. Ideally our 90-90, but wherever you're at today is good. And that neutral spine. And again, we're just holding in the beginning here. And as I just mentioned when I gave a cue there saying like relax your hands, relax your jaw. A lot of the time when our hands are like gripping so hard, you're wasting like a lot of energy just on that gripping. It's like save your strength, save your energy for the tough stuff, not just on gripping air or whatever. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna take my weight off, give my legs a little rest, and then we're gonna come back to our wall squat. So again, you can just hold here. If you do want to add on, we're going to do heel lift. Opposite heel, or alternating heel lift, sorry. Nice and controlled. Oh my gosh, my legs are burning. That lactic acid is in there. For 10, 9, 8, I'm speeding through at 7, 6, 5, 4, I'm slipping, 3, 2, and 1. Get out of that position. Oh my goodness. Oh. When I'm on camera too, I don't swear. I say things like, oh my goodness. I don't say that in real life. In real life, I swear a lot, but trying to keep it classy here. But if this was me in real life, I'd be like, oh my God. Okay, back to our abs. So, this time, if you have a heavy weight that you've been using, you can use it to kind of help for this next move. We're going to be doing either single leg or double leg lowers. So if everybody had that machine, that wall behind me, then you can hold on to the dowel. So much easier, but obviously not everybody has reformer or Pilates stuff at home. Okay. But it's basically the same idea. It's like you're holding on to something to weigh you down here. Bring your legs up to your best vertical, wherever that is. Trying to keep a neutral spine. And we'll start with one leg lowering down, and then other leg lifting up. And then leg lifting up, sorry. Other leg lowers down, and then lifting up. And your range of motion, and if you don't like to, some people just don't like to hold on to the weight. If you want to have your arms on your side and press into your arms, some people like to do that as well. I was going to say, neutral spine. So your range of motion is whatever you can do with a neutral spine. So if you find your back flattening a lot or popping up. Don't go as low, you maybe stay up here in the upper range. We're going to do one more on each side. My legs are shaking today. Oh my gosh, I can't even like straighten my legs. Do you see that? Okay, hug it in. So the next one is a challenge. If you want to do double leg lowers, we'll be doing some of those. Again, grabbing onto your weight or whatever you want to hold on to. Could just be arms on the ground. And we're going to lower our legs and then lifting up. I'm still working on re-strengthening my core. So you'll notice I am not going too low. But you want to think lengthening, like you're really reaching those legs far away from your body. Lengthening through your feet, energy reaching through the crown of your head. And each time you're lifting up, that core is getting nice and tight. Just 4 more here. And 3. 2. Last one. Hug it in or drop your legs, whatever feels good. I think I'm gonna sway side to side a little bit just for low back and my hip flexors. Take a little recovery time here. Double leg lowers, I feel like I always find them so good for strengthening. Like one of the most, I don't know what the word is, impactful moves. I don't know, maybe it's so hard. My brain's not working today. Monday brain. Okay, coming up, we are going to do our twists again. So up to you if you want to hold your light weights again, or light weight. Feet on the mat. Alternately, if you're not using weights, but you want to challenge yourself, you can bring your legs up into tabletop here. But again, this is a lot harder because as you twist, you want to be thinking feet and knees staying still. So take your options. We're going to come back into that C curve, whichever option you're taking, and then twist to one side, back to center, twisting chest to the other side. And really think of your chest like your nipple line turning each way. It's not just like your shoulder, because it's really easy to just swing your arm side to side, but you really want to think chest turning. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Doing our back again. So, clear your mat. We'll just start on my right arm again, since I'm kind of already on that side. So same that we did last time, where you're either coming down to your forearm or lying down. Make sure you get proper setup here in your neutral spine, but turned slightly towards the mat, kind of halfway. Elbow under shoulder. And then when you're ready, thinking shoulder blade drawing in towards your midline, your spine. And then if you were coming away, you're like hugging somebody. If you know Pilates, it's kind of like the opposite of hug a tree. Really think of your back muscles here. Think of the muscles kind of under your armpit area, along your spine there. Helps, that actually does help when you think of the muscles, helps to engage them more. For 4 more here. And 3, 2, and 1. I shouldn't have started with my stronger side, because now my weaker arm, my left arm, can be harder. Okay, again, getting set up here. And as I always say, or we'll get started here. So my arm is kind of out away from my body, and then bringing shoulder blade in and then reaching out. As I always say, like if you felt you could have done a million more of those, either you need to increase your weight or do a few more reps. Just pause the video and do a few more until, you know, you're just before where your form is starting to slip before you get to that point. And then conversely, if you found that really hard and you couldn't keep going as long as I did, that's fine. You probably picked a good weight and you're just building your strength. Oh my gosh, okay, 4 more here for 4, 3, 2, last 1. Okay, now we are going to do, actually, yeah, we'll do some ATYs. So that's where I'm grabbing my lightest weights here, 3 pounds each. I've done them, I think in another video I did them with just my 2-pound wrist weights on. You can do 1 pound because they are quite difficult, I find. So I will show you a few this way, then I'll turn around so you can see me a little bit better. But we are going to start either, you can bring whichever leg out you like, and then you're kind of leaning your chest on towards your thigh. And they're called ATYs because you're basically making the shape of an A with your arms. Bring it back in. A T with your arms. And then a Y. So A, squeezing shoulder blades. T, squeezing shoulder blades together. And Y. I'll just turn around to face the camera now. So during this one, you're looking out on the floor, I don't know, maybe like 3 feet in front of you. Just making sure you have that nice long neck, no creases in the neck, because that's just going to hurt you down the line. Your low back or other neck issues. Again, think of those back muscles working here. It is obviously shoulders, and you'll feel some triceps as well, maybe. And we're going to do 1 more round here. And last one. Oh, okay. So we have 1 more round of legs, and then we'll do some burnouts for arms and abs. Okay. Getting back to my weights for my sissy squats. Again, I'm going to try to make sure that they don't like roll away on me. Okay, grabbing my heavy weight. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do the heavy weight. We're going to do something different. Just because I find the heavy weight can sometimes be a little sore after a while on my legs. Okay, if you do want to grab the weight, do what we just did before, where you're just going straight up and down. Otherwise, we're going to do a little pattern here. So we're going to do 1 full range one, go as low as you can, come up, and then you're going to come down and you're going to do 2 pulses. 1, 2, back down and up. 1 full range and up, coming down for 1, 2, back down and up. Since we're not using weight, try to get as low as you can. I might mess up this pattern as I talk. 1 full range. And again, since you're not holding weight, if you want to grab that wall to just help steady you if you need it. And 1, 2, down and up. We're going to go through this pattern 2 more times. Down and up. So 2 more full ranges and 2 more in the basement here, as we call it. 1, 2, and up. Last one's here. Get as low as you can. Oh, I almost messed up. Down and up and down and up and up. Whew. Okay. Then we just have our wall sit. Again, I'm just going to get my mat out of the way so I don't slide around. And this time I will hold my weight again, just because it's a little bit easier to hold the weight in the wall squat. Okay, or wall sit. So coming down, and again, nothing fancy here. We're just going to hold, try to stay in that neutral spine. Press into the wall, press your feet into the ground, and you're pressing your full feet into the ground. I've never said this on the other wall sits, but you're thinking heels, toes, the whole shebang. Breathing through it. Again, relaxed everywhere else. Using your breathing, it does help you. All right, for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully get out of that. There's no great way. Okay. So now I'm just kind of clearing up my space here. We'll do our little burnout for our core and our back. We're going to do, we'll come onto the mat for our core. So we're going to do one more set of dead bugs. So you can grab your weights if you so choose. Make sure again you have room to reach. Arms come up, legs come up, neutral spine. Inhale to reach long, exhale back in. Inhale, reaching from fingers to toes, exhale back in. Always thinking that belly button's drawing in, like our pubic bone and rib cage trying to meet as we come in. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the legs down. Coming up, and you can kind of just like roll over here. We're going to do one more round of ATYs. So if you want to pick the other leg than last time, you can do that. Coming down, starting with our A, our T, our Y. As always, neck is long. If you don't like this, if it's not good for like your knee or something, you can do this in a slight kind of lean forward like this, where again you still have your back kind of leaned forward. Alternately, if you have like a couch or something that you can kind of lean on. Better yet, the best thing is like a gym bench that you can fold. Okay, 2 more rounds here. A, T, Y, and last one. And last, there we go, finishing up. We will finish with our robot arms again. So coming down to the mat. Okay, pressing hips into the mat, hands are down, heads down, pressing our feet into the mat. We have good energy pressing into the mat. Prepare with an inhale. As you exhale, hovering head, chest, and arms. And then inhale to lower, exhaling up, inhaling to lower. If you like to inhale on the way up, by all means do that. I've heard teachers teach it both ways. And your feet are staying down. Tops of those feet pressing into the mat. You can squeeze your bum gently to assist your low back if you need to. for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. We're going to hold here. Keep holding. You got it. Make sure again those shoulders are relaxed though. Neck is long. Pressing energetically into the mat. Keep holding. You got it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can relax down. And you can just relax your head on your hands. We're just doing a little cool down now. Start taking your nice big inhales in through the nose. Feeling your rib cage expand, and then exhaling it all out. Again, my head's just up, but you should have your head down to relax. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling it out. One more here. Carefully press yourself up into your tabletop position. We'll do a little cat-cow here. So you can start whichever way you like. I'm going to do a little tuck. And then extending, bringing my heart through my arms, drawing shoulder blades together in that kind of external rotation, my shoulders. And you can stay in whichever stretch you like. If you want to stay here, maybe in this one a little bit longer. My low back kind of needs it today. And then we'll come up. I'm just going to give my wrists a little break. And then we'll just do a little quad stretch. Coming up. If you want to hold onto your wall for balance, you can, or you can work on your balance. So you're grabbing top of your foot in your hand, trying to bring your point your knee down towards the ground, opening up your hips. You can do whatever you want with your other arm. If you want to reach nice and tall, or you know, arm up to the side. Some people, for balance, put it on their belly button. Apparently that helps your balance. And then we'll switch sides. Shoes, I find, also help balance. It's kind of a cheat. So again, thinking nice and tall through the crown of your head, lengthening. And then just twist it out for your back a little here. And as always, thank you for joining me. Leave any questions, anything you want to see, anything you want to see more of. If you like using the heavier weights, if you like just body weight stuff, let me know. Always looking for ideas and what everybody wants to see. And hope to see you next time.